Welcome, I'm State Senator Michelle McManus. Thank you for tuning in to In Touch with Northern Michigan. This month I have John Tanner, who is the superintendent for the Great Lakes Maritime Academy in Northern Michigan. Welcome, John.
Welcome.
Thank you for coming. And we're going to just talk a little bit about the academy, where it's housed. But first, I want to just briefly give the audience the opportunity to learn a little bit about your background and how you got to where you are today.
Okay.
Because I noticed that you're a rear admiral.
Yes.
Yep.
That's designated by the Maritime Administration. All superintendents of state maritime academies are designated as rear admiral.
Okay.
I'm a native of Northern Michigan. I grew up in Kalkaska County. My father was in the merchant service on the Great Lakes. I started sailing there in the mid-60s. Worked my way up through the ranks, and was very fortunate to always be on the best ship with the best companies. And in 1971, I was on the first 1,000-foot ship on the Great Lakes, a very historic event for the Great Lakes. And rose through the ranks there, and then came to Great Lakes Maritime Academy, which is a division of Northwestern Michigan College in 1974 as a faculty member.
Okay. Well, that's something new I didn't know. So the first 1,000-foot ship.
Yes.
And those are mainly cargo ships.
Cargo ships. They haul iron ore, so it's a bulk cargo. The ship I was on was named the Stuart J. Court, and it hauled about 60,000 tons of iron ore, or enough iron ore to make about 35,000 automobiles.
And where did the ship go? Where did it where did it start? Where did it end?
The ship's port was in Indiana, Burns Harbor, Indiana. It's where the steel mill was. That's where we unloaded. And we loaded cargo in Taconite Harbor, Minnesota, which was on the north shore of Minnesota, Taconite pellets.
Now,
about a 5.5 day trip.
Okay, 5.5 day. And how long did you do that?
I did that in 1971, 72, and into 74. Came to Great Lakes Maritime Academy in the fall of 74.
Okay. The reason I'm kind of asking a little bit about, where you came from is it goes into some of the questions I have later, because, I can see these large ships from where I live, and sometimes they sail in very stormy seas. Would that be a fair assessment or not?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay. Did you have the opportunity to do that?
Oh yes, some very, very large seas. A lot's happened since the 70s. We have a lot better weather predicting information. It's real time. Radios are better. We used to have areas in the lakes where we couldn't communicate with because the radios were that poor at that time, and now they're just excellent. And we have global positioning systems to locate your position. So with all those factors being better, the ships can maneuver to better areas today than maybe we could have.
Into harbors and bays?
Just in better position on the lake too.
Oh.
And stay out of some of the more constricted areas, because the sea builds up, it moves into an area where the lake constricts or gets smaller, and that's the areas where the seas will be bigger, and you want to stay out of those best you can.
Okay. And let's see, did your ship ever come to the Traverse City area, or was
no? We were
a
1,000-foot ship was too big, so
okay.
we were. There's only a few ports we could go to at that time.
Okay. What's the average size of a ship that would cross the Great Lakes?
The smaller Lakers are in the 600-foot range, and then we have a series of 700-footers up to 800-footers, and then the super ships are 1,000-foot in length.
What did you do when you were on the ship?
I was a mate, which meant I had a watch. I was responsible for the ship during that. I loaded the cargo when I was on watch. A watch is a 4-hour period, so you're on a 4-hour period, you're off for 8 hours, and you're back on for 8 hours, or for 4 hours. So I would navigate the ship and load the ship. Those are the two primary duties of a mate. Okay.
And so you moved to Northwest, or actually to the Traverse City area,
Correct.
Or took a position at Northwest Michigan College.
Correct.
And we've seen that college change in the last few years, where the Maritime Academy was housed in one facility and now is in a different facility. Is that?
Absolutely. The college, Northwestern Michigan College, went through a major rebuilding approximately the year 2000, where it upgraded its tech campus, with the M-Tech campus and the facility at the airport, new science building, and upgraded all other type of buildings on main campus. And then the final building phase was at Great Lakes Campus, as it's called now, where we demolished the old warehouses and built a new, just gorgeous facility that not only houses Great Lakes Maritime Academy, but our Culinary Institute, Haggerty Center, Conference Center, and our Water Research Institute.
Okay. Is this the only maritime academy on the Great Lakes?
Yes. In fact, there's only 6 state maritime academies in the nation. They're in Maine, Massachusetts, New York, Texas, and California.
Why not have more maritime academies on our Great Lakes? Any particular reason you think? Or?
Well, we supply the need of the Great Lakes, and then the other reason is we were the nation's first regional maritime academy. So technically, we serve the states, Great Lakes Maritime Academy serves the states of Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. So we're their maritime academy too.
So you have students that come from those areas?
Those schools, yes.
All over the United States also, or?
Yeah, most of the students come from Michigan and the Midwest, right around the lakes. You can map out where they come from. It's near a shoreline someplace. And then we have a number from Alaska of recent. We have 6 students from Alaska. And we generally have some from the West Coast and from some of the southern states too.
How many do you graduate a year?
This year we're going to graduate approximately 14. It's another small class. We're trying to raise the numbers up to where we graduate 35 students, 35 to 40 students. But it takes time.
How long is a course if you're interested in maritime?
4 years.
4 years?
4 years. It's a very intense bachelor's degree program, 160 credit hours, very strict curriculum, very heavy federal regulated as far as the size of classes and the type of training equipment, credentials of faculty members, and those types of things. So there's many of those things that we have to build into the structure. The bachelor's degree comes from Ferris State. We have a very unique relationship with them. The bachelor's degree is in business administration. We supply, Great Lakes Maritime Academy, the maritime credentials. So it's a very unique relationship that Northwestern Michigan College and Great Lakes Maritime Academy and Ferris have.
Are there needs out there for individuals to have these degrees to then go on to the ships? Do you call them ships? You don't call them boats?
Well, on the Great Lakes they do call them boats.
Oh, they do?
But they technically are ships. Yeah, the bachelor's degree in business administration, as the world becomes more complex, it's a must anymore to have those credentials.
And so a person that's taking the courses, they actually have hands-on experience with boats or ships? Yes,
we have, of the 4-year program, there's 3 semesters that the students are out on sea. So they're out on what we call a sea project. It's about 9 months at sea of the 4 years. That's a requirement of the federal government that we have those sea terms. And the student has a sea project work that they have to do, send it back to the faculty member to be graded and reviewed, and they correspond that way.
And they actually are taught to steer, drive the boat?
They do everything that they will eventually do as an officer, only obviously the officers are watching them and won't let them do everything, of course, but they have a chance to touch what they're going to do very quickly. And the other way of getting sea time is with our ship, State of Michigan. That's where we start the students out. We have them aboard our ship for 2 weeks on the Great Lakes before we place them on a commercial ship.
Okay, now your ship, is that the ship that's actually at the facility?
It's at the facility.